Hi everyone, Mike again, and we're going to take a look at another website and try to determine if seeing an FFL number is a security symbol and if it means that you're safe to purchase on that site, or if it's not safe. Today we're looking at Guardianarms.net. You can see up here, Guardianarms.net. And that's kind of interesting. It's the .net versus the .com. So why didn't they register the .com? But we'll keep going and try to determine if this is a scam or if this is a real site. And today it's March 23rd, 2022. And right here in the logo it says 601 019 02 61 and then some other numbers. It's real small. And I've already looked at this site, and we're going to scroll to the bottom. It looks good. It's got pictures. Looks like they have lots of products. They all say add to cart, which means they're in stock. You can add them to cart. Well, are they really in stock? Well, let's keep looking. And when you get to the bottom here, it says it's got an address. Sometimes, you know, an address makes you feel better. It's got an email address. It's got a phone number. And it's got the FFL number. So does that mean that we're safe? It's got the full number, and this is what was in the header logo as well. So it starts with 601 and then 060802. So let's go to the official government website and take a look at this. This is 601, and then what was that? It doesn't have you enter all the numbers. It just has you enter the first, the second, and the last. It was 601-068-802. 601-068-802. And we're on atf.gov. You don't get much more official than that. And who is it registered to? It's current. It expires in 2 years from now. And it has the person's name here. And the trade name is Arms Den. Well, that's kind of weird, right? That's not the name of the site we're looking at. It's got the address, 728 Goodwins Mills Road, Dayton, Maine. And so that's the official site, Arms Den. Why doesn't it? So these FFLs, they're only good for one person and one entity. So you can't share an FFL number. So you can't have it on two different businesses. So that's one problem. It looks like, you know, this is just text. You can, if you find this on the internet, you can copy it and put it on your website. And also putting it in the logo is just, that's just strange. I mean, who does that? So I think the fastest way to tell if something's real or not is to buy something and go to the cart and see what it looks like. Now, this site, this is the homepage. It says they have 101 brands. It's gotten 320,000 views and 230,000 customers. Does that make sense? So 2/3 of the people that look at this site buy something? That doesn't make sense, right? I mean, I've worked in e-commerce for decades. And to have a 65% conversion rate would be unbelievably high, like 10 times higher than a good conversion rate. Oh, and if you look here, here's a spelling mistake right on the homepage, riffles. So you can buy riffles, you can buy handguns, and ammunitions with an S. So they've got a grammar plural singular mistake right here on ammunition. So obviously this person, English doesn't seem to be their first language. So let's keep going and just see if we can find something that's like a smoking gun, that this is a scam site. This is, you know, we're starting to head towards the scam site idea. And it has these little images about social media. But if you notice on the bottom left, it doesn't link to their profiles. It has you posting about this page, and there's no social media links on the footer at all. That's odd, right? But let's just keep going and give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, I really want to get whatever this is, and you know, the pandemic's on and I can't find it anywhere else, so let's be kind of you know, impulsive. When you get to the cart, this is a $6,000 weapon. It says it has free shipping. I guess, I mean, it's their business. They can run it how they want. They only take Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App. Do you have those? Do you want to pay with that? Should you pay with that? Actually, this is the kiss of death on this site. This site is 100% a scam because of this. When you go to Zelle's website, right here, I'm on the official ZellePay.com website, and this is a user agreement that started about 4 or 5 months ago. If I search for firearms, under prohibited uses, it says firearms, ammunition, or other weapons. So you can't buy firearms with Zelle. It's against their terms and conditions. And also, Zelle, you know, it has information on the homepage what it is. It's for somebody that you trust, know and trust. This is basically like giving a gift. This is for something that you would do to give to a friend. If you pay with Zelle, there are no refunds. So it says here, Zelle does not report transactions to the IRS. So this is not an e-commerce payment method. If anyone asks you to pay with Zelle, most likely it's a scam. I would say 99.999% of the time it's a scam, especially on e-commerce. The other way they ask for payment is Venmo. And let's just search for firearms there. Content centers. You may not post or submit any content that violates our user acceptable use policy or any content that is firearms or ammunition. So this is banned here. And then if you don't know what Venmo is, I'll go to the homepage. It's social payments. It's a way to pay friends. Split the funds, send a gift. So if you use Venmo, it's like a gift to these people. Now Cash App, that was the other term that they accepted for payment. So I'll go to firearms, search for firearms. You may not permit any third party directly or indirectly to search for firearms again. And firearms. There it is. Use the services for the sale of firearms or firearms parts, ammunition, weapons, or other. So it's against the policy of Cash App. And I'll let you in on a little secret. There is no refunds on Cash App. And if you pay them with Cash App and then are be defrauded and you complain, you might get your account banned on a Cash App. And you know, there might be other so that's going to add insult to injury. Now, if you go back to their site, up here on the top, it has contact us. So if you get defrauded, they've got their phone number, they've got an address. This is actually the address on the FFL, and I believe this is a real person's address. You know, that's an interesting thing you could do sometimes is to take the address, copy it, go to Google, put some quotes around it, and what is that? Wow. It says it's Wild Wings Taxidermy. Here's a picture of it on Coldwell Bankers. What is that? Oh yeah, it's just a house out in the middle of nowhere. Pretty nice house, $600,000. This is probably the real FFL holder. This is his house. Oh, there's a sale pending. So let's go back to Google. And okay, so the address is fake. Now what about the phone number? If you, a lot of times on these sites, they'll have no phone number, which is obviously bad, but they might have a phone number, like they have a 719 area code, and I searched this earlier, and the 719 area code is El Paso County, Colorado. But that website was saying it was in Maine. So the phone number is fake. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with this website. I mean, it's pretty much all fake. Now let's look at the bottom of the page, and it's got, well, the About Us is up here, so let's go to that. and it's got its FFL again. One thing they're doing on this site, that's a semicolon. They meant to make a colon and it's a semicolon. This is supposed to be centered. It's not. A lot of times these sites aren't completely finished. Like, they built them real fast and they're just trying to trick you into sending them some money. Now, they say they have firearms, and I have something in my cart, but it's not a handgun or a shotgun. And a lot of times these sites, you'll look at their categories and they just don't make sense. Like, you can kind of tell that they don't know much about firearms or what they're selling. And this is a good example right here, because they have knives and tools, and they're calling these knives out the front knives. And I think they mean automatic knives. But that's just a strange way to call it. I don't know if that's really what they're called. And this is a rifle. This is what I put in my cart. But they actually don't have a category that's listed at the top for semi-auto rifles, which is kind of odd. And let's keep going. Let's go back to the footer. Here's a privacy policy. The more you look at these sites, the more you'll see problems with them. And here's the privacy policy page, and it says the privacy notice discloses the privacy practices for firearmsworld.com. Uh-oh, that's a different website. So sometimes they just take text from other pages and other websites and they copy them. And this is an instance of that. They copied that and they just forgot to change it. So that's another problem with this site. Now, the other thing you'll see is a lot of these sites don't have many blog posts. And here's 4, which actually is better than most. And here's one on the 5 best guns for women. And if I've read this, and it actually reads pretty well, but that's also can be a problem. So sometimes just take a couple sentences, copy it, go back to Google, and put a quote at the beginning, paste your sentences, put a quote at the end, and just look for where you can find those sentences. And it's got it right here. So here's the page we were on, Guardianarms. This is the scam site. This site, as far as I know, is a legitimate site, and this has got the exact same sentences, the exact same title, the exact same beginning. This is the same site, or the same article, Glock 43, 365. So if you go back to the scam site, Glock 43, 365, Mossberg, I mean, this is the same article. So they copied this article. They didn't even write it. So, I mean, sometimes if you see a well-written article, that doesn't mean it's safe. Now, the other thing about these blogs is they just don't have that many blog posts. This one has 5, and they're all right here. Here's the categories. So 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 5. And they were all made in March of 2021. That's another warning. And something you can do is go to the domain and copy it and paste it into a website where you can do a free who is site and just say, who are these people? Like, how long has this site been around? And actually, it was created in March of 2021, so almost exactly a year ago. So they registered in March, they put those 5 blog posts in, and then they haven't blogged again. I mean, do you really trust a site that's a year old with all these warning signs? You shouldn't. This is a scam site 100% of the time. I guarantee it. They don't tell you who they really are. They've got domain privacy on. This is all just hidden. And all this is hidden. Now, if you've been scammed by this site, I feel sorry for you. I don't know how to get your money back, or if you can get any money back. You might want to look into, here's where the domain is registered and how you can send an abuse to the domain register. You should always also check and see who hosts this site and complain to the abuse at that domain. So again, we're looking at Guardianarms.net. This is 100% a scam site. Every clue that I've seen is that it's a scam site. And the funny thing is, you know, it's late at night and you can message them and just tell them who you are, and well, or some fake name. I would put some fake name, and we can drop you an email at, okay, so they're saying their name is Bruce. Their name is not Bruce. You know, everything about this says it's a scam site. And I thank you again for your time and hope to have better luck in the future. If you see an FFL number on a firearm site, that doesn't mean it's safe. It might be a scam as well.